Elena kissed him in front of 200 people. Dante Zhao, the Mafia heir, the man everyone in Seoul feared. She did it to hurt her ex-boyfriend. To prove she didn't care anymore. It was supposed to be simple. Petty. Forgettable. It wasn't. The room went silent. His bodyguards reached for their weapons. And Dante, cold, untouchable Dante, looked at her like she'd just declared war. Or something worse. His hand came to her waist. Not pushing her away. Holding her there. His eyes were still on hers, no longer unreadable. They were dangerous. "Thanks for that," Elena whispered, her voice steadier than her heartbeat. She turned and walked away, feeling his gaze burning into her back, feeling Marcus's shock from across the room, feeling the weight of every witness to her spectacular mistake. 3 impossible seconds before she pulled back and walked away on shaking legs. She made it to the bathroom before her phone buzzed. "You kiss strangers often, American girl?" Unknown number. But she knew. Of course she knew. Her hands trembled as she typed back. "Only the dangerous ones." His response was immediate. "Good. Because now you're mine to protect. Check outside." Elena's stomach dropped. She pushed through the bathroom door and froze. 2 women in black suits. Earpieces. Guns barely concealed under tailored jackets. Both watching her. "Miss Rossi," one said, her voice flat. "Mr. Zhao has arranged your transportation. I didn't ask for. He insists." That's when Elena understood. One kiss. One stupid, reckless, vengeful kiss. And she'd just become the property of the most dangerous man in Seoul. This is the story of how revenge destroyed her life. How one moment of defiance trapped her in a world of violence, obsession, and a ruthless crime lord who refuses to let her go. It wasn't a request. Elena's mind raced. She was a fashion student, here on a scholarship, living in a tiny apartment in Hongdae. She had no business being on Dante Zhao's radar. She'd kissed him to make Marcus jealous, nothing more. A stupid, impulsive gesture fueled by too much wine and not enough self-respect. Now she had bodyguards. The black SUV waiting outside was worth more than her entire education. Elena climbed in because refusing felt more dangerous than complying. The woman who'd spoken sat beside her. The other took the passenger seat. Neither spoke during the drive through Seoul's glittering streets. When they reached her building, the woman handed her a card. Matte black, no name. Just a phone number embossed in silver. "Mr. Zhao will contact you tomorrow." Answer. Then they were gone, leaving Elena standing in the street with a business card that felt like a loaded gun in her hand. She didn't sleep. She paced her apartment, replaying the kiss, the look in his eyes, the instant her life had tilted off its axis. At 3 a.m., her phone lit up. Still awake? Elena stared at the message. Every rational thought screamed at her to ignore it, block the number, pretend tonight had never happened. Instead, she typed, "Who sleeps after kissing the devil?" His response came immediately. "Devils don't sleep either. Too many enemies." Despite everything, she almost smiled. "Is that what I am now? An enemy?" "No. Something more complicated." Elena sat on her bed, phone clutched in both hands. "I didn't mean to drag you into my drama. It was stupid. It was brave. Stupid and brave often look the same. I'm not brave. I'm a mess. You kissed me in front of 200 people. Half of them want me dead. That's either bravery or insanity. Maybe both. I can work with both." Elena's fingers hovered over the keyboard. She should end this. Block him. Run. Instead, she asked the question burning through her mind. "Why are you texting me?" The pause stretched longer this time. When his answer came, it felt heavier. "Because you looked at me like I was human." Her throat tightened. She typed and deleted 3 responses before settling on. "Aren't you?" "Most days I'm not sure." They texted until sunrise. About nothing and everything. He asked about her studies, her designs, why she'd chosen Seoul. She asked about books, music, anything except his business. When the conversation finally ended, Elena felt like she'd glimpsed something beneath the ice prince facade, something lonely and carefully hidden. She fell asleep holding her phone. 3 hours later, a knock woke her. Elena stumbled to the door, expecting a package. Instead, 2 different bodyguards stood in the hallway. Both men this time, both built like military hardware. "Miss Rossi, we're your security detail." Please continue your normal routine. I don't need security. The taller one's expression didn't change. Mr. Zhao disagrees. People saw last night. People talk. We're here to ensure no one acts on that talk. Fear crystallized in her chest. Acts how? That's what we're here to prevent. They followed her to class, sat outside the fashion building while she sketched designs and tried to ignore the stares from other students. Followed her to lunch, to the fabric store, back home. Elena felt like a prisoner in her own life. That night, she called the number on the black card. He answered on the first ring. Make them go away, she said without preamble. No. His voice was calm, absolute. Dante, I can't live like this. You can't live without it. You kissed me, Elena. That made you valuable. Valuable things need protection. I'm not a thing. No. You're a liability I'm choosing to protect. There's a difference. Anger flared hot in her chest. I didn't choose this. Neither did I. But here we are. He paused. There are 3 organizations in Seoul that would love to get leverage over me. You gave them that leverage. So yes, you have bodyguards. Yes, your life just got complicated. Blame me if you want, but don't blame me for keeping you alive. Elena wanted to scream. Instead, she forced herself to breathe. How long? Until the interest dies down. A month. Maybe 2. And then you go back to being invisible. If that's what you want. The way he said it made her wonder if it was what she wanted. She hated that she wondered. I have to go to a gallery opening tomorrow night. For class. I know. I've seen your schedule. The invasion of privacy should have horrified her. Instead, she felt something else. Something darker. Will you be there? Silence. Then, do you want me to be? Elena closed her eyes. This was the moment. She could end it here. Say no. Return to her normal life once the danger passed. Safe. Boring. Alone. Yes, she whispered. She heard him exhale, a sound that might have been relief or resignation. Then I'll be there. But Elena, if I'm there, people will notice. Your classmates, your professors, your ex. Everyone will know you're connected to me. There's no going back from that. I know. Do you? Do you know what it means to stand beside me? To be seen with me? Her hand tightened on the phone. Tell me. It means you become a target. It means people will try to use you, hurt you, manipulate you to get to me. It means living with security and suspicion and constant vigilance. It means your quiet student life ends tonight. And what do I get in return? Another pause. When he spoke, his voice was quieter. Me. For whatever that's worth. Elena's heart hammered. She thought about Marcus, about safe choices, about the life she planned. Then she thought about Dante's text, "You looked at me like I was human," and made her choice. I'll see you tomorrow night. She hung up before he could respond, before she could second-guess, before fear could overrule the strange pull drawing her toward this dangerous man. The gallery opening was in Gangnam, a converted warehouse full of avant-garde fashion installations. Elena wore black, a simple dress she designed herself, elegant and understated. Her bodyguards wore earpieces and scanned every entrance. She was examining a textile sculpture when the room's energy shifted. Conversations dimmed. Heads turned. Elena didn't need to look to know Dante had arrived. He found her by the back wall, away from the crowd. Tonight he wore charcoal gray, his dark hair perfectly styled, his expression unreadable except for his eyes. Those eyes found hers, and something in them softened. "You came," she said. "I said I would." He stood beside her, not touching, just close enough that she felt his presence like heat. "You look beautiful. You look dangerous." "I am dangerous." "I know." They stood in silence, watching the crowd watch them. Elena saw Marcus across the room, his face twisted with something between shock and anger. She felt nothing. Whatever she'd felt for him had burned away the moment she'd kissed Dante. "Dance with me," Dante said quietly. There was no music, no dance floor. But Elena took his offered hand anyway, letting him pull her close in the middle of the gallery while everyone stared. His hand settled on her waist, hers on his shoulder, and they swayed to a rhythm only they could hear. "This is insane," she whispered. "Yes." People are staring. Let them. Dante. Elena. He said her name like a prayer. I haven't danced with anyone in 7 years. I haven't wanted to. Then you kissed me. And suddenly I remembered what it felt like to want something beyond power and survival. Her breath caught. What do you want? His eyes met hers, and she saw past the ice prince, past the dangerous air, to something raw and real beneath. I want you to keep looking at me like I'm human, even when I prove I'm not. Before she could respond, one of his men appeared at his shoulder, whispering urgently. Dante's expression hardened instantly. We need to leave. Now. What's wrong? Someone's coming. Someone who shouldn't know you exist yet. His hand tightened on hers. Stay close to me. They moved through the gallery toward a side exit, surrounded by bodyguards. Elena's heart raced. This was real. The danger wasn't theoretical anymore. As they reached the door, she heard shouting behind them. Dante pushed her into the waiting SUV and climbed in after her. The vehicle was moving before the door fully closed. What's happening? Elena demanded. The Kuznetsov family. Russian syndicate. They're making moves in Seoul, trying to establish territory. They saw us together. Now they know you matter to me. How bad is that? Dante looked at her, and for the first time, she saw fear in his eyes. Not for himself. For her. It means everything just got worse. The safe house was in Itaewon, hidden behind a restaurant that never seemed to close. Dante led Elena through a kitchen where staff didn't look up, downstairs that shouldn't exist, into a room that looked like a luxury apartment dropped into a bunker. Concrete walls, silk curtains, beauty wrapped in brutality. You'll stay here tonight, Dante said, his voice clipped professional. The man who danced with her was gone, replaced by the ice prince everyone feared. For how long? Until I know you're safe. Elena's anger finally broke through her fear. Safe? You mean trapped. You mean hidden away like some possession you need to protect. He turned on her, eyes blazing. You think I want this? You think I want you in danger because of me? Then let me go. I can't. The words tore out of him, raw and desperate. Don't you understand? They saw us. They know. If I cut you loose now, they'll take you just to prove they can. To hurt me. To show weakness. Your only safety is staying close to me. That's not safety. That's a cage. Dante's jaw clenched. He walked to the window, staring out at nothing. When he spoke again, his voice was quieter, broken. My mother lived in a cage. My father kept her locked away to protect her from his enemies. She withered there. Died there. I swore I'd never do that to anyone. He turned back to Elena. But I won't let you die either. So tell me, Elena. Tell me what choice I have. The anguish in his voice shattered her anger. She moved toward him, close enough to see the exhaustion carved into his features, the weight he carried like armor. Teach me, she said. What? Teach me to protect myself. Give me training. Information. Tools. Don't lock me away. Make me dangerous, too. Something flickered across his face. Surprise. Then something that might have been respect. You understand what you're asking? The training isn't gentle. The knowledge isn't clean. You'll see things, learn things that you can't unknow. I already can't unknow you. His lips twitched, almost a smile. All right, but we do this my way. My instructors. My rules. Deal. He pulled out his phone, made 3 calls in rapid Korean. When he finished, he looked at her differently. Like she'd surprised him. Like she mattered more than he wanted to admit. Training starts tomorrow. 5 a.m. Don't expect mercy. I don't expect anything from you except honesty. Then honestly, Elena, you terrify me. Because for the first time in my life, I have something to lose. Before she could respond, he left, his bodyguards closing the door behind him. Elena was alone in the luxury bunker, her life unrecognizable from a week ago. She should call her parents, her friends, someone from her old life. Instead, she texted Dante. Thank you. His response came minutes later. Don't thank me yet. Tomorrow you'll hate me. Probably. But I'll be alive to hate you. That's the goal. She fell asleep on silk sheets in a concrete room, dreaming of ice princes and cages made of protection. 5 a.m. came violently. A woman named Kira pulled Elena from bed, handed her workout clothes, and led her to a basement gym that looked like a military training facility. For 2 hours, Kira put her through hell. Self-defense drills, situational awareness exercises, escape scenarios. Elena's body screamed. Her muscles trembled. She fell. Got up. Fell again. Again, Kira said without sympathy. Elena wanted to quit. Wanted to cry. Instead, she got up and attacked the padded dummy again, channeling every ounce of fear and frustration into her strikes. When the session finally ended, Dante was waiting by the door. He'd watched the entire thing. "You didn't quit," he said. "Did you think I would? I hoped you wouldn't." He handed her water. "Kira says you're a fast learner." "Kira terrifies me." "Good. She should. She's kept me alive for 6 years." He studied her face. "How do you feel?" "Like I got hit by a truck." "That's the point. When someone actually tries to hurt you, you'll remember this pain and fight through it." His expression darkened. "I need to tell you something. The Kuznetsovs made contact. They want a meeting." Elena's stomach dropped. "About me?" "About territory. But yes, they mentioned you. They're testing boundaries, seeing if I'll negotiate or fight." He moved closer, his voice dropping. "I need you to understand something. In my world, showing weakness gets you killed. Caring about someone is the ultimate weakness. But He stopped, struggling with words. "I can't pretend you don't matter. So I'm making you strong instead. Strong enough that you're not a weakness. You're an asset." "Is that all I am? An asset?" His hand came up, fingertips brushing her cheek. "No. But it's safer if that's what people think." The almost touch vanished as his phone rang. He answered in sharp Korean, his expression hardening with each word. When he hung up, murder lived in his eyes. "They took someone. A street kid who works as a courier for us. 16 years old. They're sending me pictures." He showed her the screen, a boy, terrified, bound in an empty room. "This is the message. This is what they do to people connected to me." Elena felt sick. "What are you going to do?" "Get him back. Kill whoever touched him. Send my own message." He looked at her. "This is my world, Elena. This is who I am. Blood and violence and choices that haunt you. Last chance to walk away." She thought about the boy in the picture. Thought about Dante's mother withering in a cage. Thought about running back to her simple student life and spending every day wondering what happened to the dangerous man she'd kissed. "Teach me to shoot," she said. Dante blinked. "What?" "You heard me. If I'm staying in this world, I need to know how to survive it. All of it." For a long moment, he just stared at her. Then he pulled out his phone again. "Jiwoo, bring the training weapons to range 3. We have a new student." The shooting range was 3 levels down. Elena's hands shook as she held the gun, feeling its weight, its lethal potential. Jiwoo, a compact man with scars on his knuckles, showed her the basics: stance, grip, sight alignment, breath control. "Don't think," he said. "Feel the target. Breathe. Squeeze." The first shot went wide. The second hit the target's edge. By the 20th, she was grouping shots center mass. Not perfect, but not helpless either. Dante watched from behind soundproof glass. When she finished, he entered the range, took the gun from her hands, and pulled her into an embrace that felt like relief and desperation tangled together. "You're either the bravest person I've met or the most foolish," he murmured against her hair. "I told you. Both." He pulled back, hands framing her face. "I'm going after the boy tonight. You'll stay here with Kira and 3 guards. No arguments." "I won't argue." "But Dante, bring him home." "I will." He pressed his forehead to hers. "And then we're going to have a conversation about what this is between us. Because I can't keep pretending it's just protection." "What is it?" His thumb traced her cheekbone. "Something I've never had. Something I don't deserve. Something I'm too selfish to give up." Then he was gone, taking half the guards with him, leaving Elena in the bunker with Kira and her racing thoughts. Hours crawled past. Elena tried to design, to sketch, to do anything normal. Nothing worked. She kept seeing the boy's terrified face, kept imagining Dante walking into violence, kept wondering if he'd come back. At midnight, her phone buzzed. "We have him. He's safe. Coming back." Relief crashed through her so hard she nearly sobbed. She typed back with shaking hands. Are you okay? Alive? That's what matters. That's not what I asked. A longer pause. No. I'm not okay. But I will be when I see you. He arrived an hour later, dried blood on his knuckles, exhaustion in every line of his body. Elena met him at the door. Kira quietly withdrew, giving them space. The boy? Elena asked. Hospital. Scared but alive. His family's under protection now. Dante's voice was hollow. I killed 3 men tonight. Shot 2, broke the 3rd one's neck. They begged. I didn't care. That's who I am, Elena. A man who kills and doesn't care. She took his bloodied hands in hers. You cared about a 16-year-old courier enough to risk your life. You care about me enough to turn your world upside down. Don't tell me you don't care. Caring makes me weak. No. It makes you human. She squeezed his hands. You asked me to keep looking at you like you're human. I am. I see the violence. I see the blood. I also see the man who dances in galleries and texts at 3 a.m. and breaks himself open trying to protect people. Dante's control finally cracked. He pulled her close, burying his face in her neck, and she felt moisture against her skin. The Ice Prince was crying, and Elena held him through it, this dangerous man who'd forgotten how to be vulnerable. I don't know how to do this, he whispered. How to care about someone without destroying them. You learn. We both learn. Together. He lifted his head, eyes red but clear. If you stay, there's no easy path. There will be more violence, more threats, more nights like tonight. I can't promise you safety or normal or anything except chaos and danger in me. Elena smiled despite everything. I'm a fashion student who kissed a Mafia heir to make her ex jealous. Normal left the building a long time ago. Elena! Dante, stop trying to scare me away. It won't work. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing you. Understand? He kissed her then, fierce and desperate and real. Not like the impulsive kiss at the party. This was a promise and a question and an answer all at once. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, something fundamental had shifted between them. There's a gala next week, Dante said. Major event. All the families will be there, including the Kuznetsovs. I need to make a statement, establish boundaries. He cupped her face. I want you there. With me. Publicly. As mine. That's dangerous. Yes. It'll make me a permanent target. Yes. People will try to use me against you. They'll try. They'll fail. His eyes were steel now. You wanted to be strong, not hidden. This is how. We face them together. We show them you're not a weakness to exploit. You're my strength. Elena's heart pounded. This was the moment. The final choice. She could still step back. Take the protection but not the spotlight. Remain in the shadows of his world. Instead, she said, what should I wear? Dante's smile was sharp and genuine. Something that makes them remember who you are. The woman who kissed the devil and didn't run. The week passed in brutal training sessions and late-night conversations. Elena learned to read situations, to spot threats, to move through dangerous spaces with awareness and confidence. She learned about the families, the territories, the delicate balance of power that kept Seoul's underworld from tearing itself apart. She also learned about Dante, about his mother's death when he was 12, about his father's iron rule and impossible expectations, about the night he'd taken his first life at 17 to prove his loyalty, about the loneliness that had carved out his insides until he'd forgotten what warmth felt like. I was 10 when I realized I wasn't like other children, he told her one night, both of them sprawled on the safe house couch. I asked my father why I couldn't have friends from school. He said friends were liabilities. Love was weakness. All that mattered was power and survival. That's a terrible way to raise a child. It kept me alive. He turned his head toward her. Until you, I thought he was right. And now I think survival without living is just slow death. Elena laced her fingers through his. Then let's live. The gala was at the Schilla Hotel, a monument to wealth and power. Elena wore emerald green silk, a dress she designed specifically for tonight. Elegant but bold, beautiful but strong. Kira had taught her how to wear a concealed weapon. A small blade pressed against her thigh beneath the fabric, a reminder that she wasn't helpless anymore. Dante wore midnight blue, his hair swept back, every inch the Prince of Darkness everyone feared. When he saw her, something raw crossed his face. "You're going to start a war looking like that," he said. "Good. Let them see what you see." His hand found the small of her back as they entered the ballroom. Conversations stuttered. Heads turned. The American student and the devil's heir, together, undeniable, unafraid. They made their rounds. Dante introduced her to crime lords and business moguls with equal courtesy. Elena smiled and spoke carefully, remembering everything she'd learned about reading people, about showing strength without threat. Then the Kuznetsovs approached. 3 men in expensive suits, smiles that didn't reach their eyes. The leader, Victor, extended his hand. "Dante, and this must be the famous Elena, the woman who's caused such interesting complications." Dante's grip on her tightened fractionally. "Elena Rossi. My partner." "Partner?" Victor's smile widened. "How progressive. In my organization, women know their place." Elena felt Dante tense, ready to escalate. She stepped forward first. "And in your organization, how many women have tried to kill you? Because I'm guessing the number would be higher if they had opportunities beyond knowing their place." Victor's smile froze. His men shifted. For 3 seconds, the ballroom balanced on a knife's edge between diplomacy and violence. Then Victor laughed. "She has teeth. I like that. Perhaps you've chosen well, Dante. I don't need your approval." "No, but you need peace and soul." "We all do." Victor's expression hardened. "The boy was a message. Your response was received. Now we negotiate territory properly, or next time it won't be a courier." Dante's voice went arctic. "Touch anyone under my protection again, and there won't be a next time. For you, or your organization." Bold words. Not words. Promise. They stared at each other, 2 apex predators deciding whether to fight or circle. Finally, Victor nodded. "We'll talk. Next week. Neutral ground." "Agreed." The Russians withdrew. Elena released a breath she didn't know she was holding. Dante pulled her close. "That was either brilliant or insane. I learned from the best." They danced then, really danced, with music and space and 200 witnesses. Elena felt the weight of every gaze, the judgment and speculation and fear. She met them all with her chin up and her hand in Dante's, choosing this dangerous man and this impossible life with full awareness and 0 regrets. "I love you," Dante said quietly, the words nearly lost in the music. "I don't know how. I don't know when it happened. But somewhere between your crazy kiss and right now, you became the thing I can't lose." Elena's eyes burned. "I love you too, even though you're impossible and dangerous and probably going to give me a heart attack before I'm 30. Probably. Worth it though." "Yeah. Yeah." As the song ended, Dante kissed her in front of everyone. Not desperate or impulsive, but certain. A declaration. A promise. A future neither of them had believed they could have. The applause that followed was scattered, confused but real. They left the gala together, bodyguards surrounding them, Elena's hand firm in Dante's. Outside, Seoul glittered beneath them, beautiful and brutal in theirs. "What happens now?" Elena asked. Dante squeezed her hand. "Now we build something new. Something that isn't just survival. We'll still have enemies, still have danger, but we'll face it together. Partners! Partners!" he confirmed. "In everything." 3 months later, Elena stood in Dante's office, reviewing security protocols for her first fashion show. She'd learned to balance both worlds, student and partner to a crime lord, designer and woman who could disarm an attacker in 4 moves. It wasn't easy. Some days it was terrifying. But it was real, and it was hers, and she'd chosen it with open eyes. Dante walked in, pressed a kiss to her temple, and handed her coffee exactly how she liked it. The Ice Prince had thawed, at least for her. Outside their private space, he was still dangerous, still feared. But here with her, he was just Dante. Human. Flawed. Trying. "Ready for tonight?" he asked. Terrified, but ready. "Good. I'll be front row. Heavily armed, but front row." She laughed. "That's the most romantic thing you've ever said." "I'm learning." "Yes, you are." As evening fell over Seoul, Elena prepared for her show, Dante at her side, both of them knowing tomorrow would bring new challenges, new threats, new complications. But they'd face them together, the fashion student and the devil's heir, the impulsive kiss that became an impossible love, the choice that changed everything. And neither of them would have it any other way. If this story kept you on the edge of your seat, if Elena and Dante's dangerous love captured your imagination, then I need to hear from you right now. Drop a comment below and tell me, would you have kissed the devil? Would you have stayed when things got dangerous? Hit that like button if you want more stories that make your heart race and your palms sweat. And subscribe because I've got more intense, emotional, can't look away stories coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. See you in the comments, and remember, sometimes the most dangerous choice is also the most worth it.